Spendthrift Farm Stallions. First 2-year-olds on the track by Golden Sense, Cross Traffic, It's My Lucky Day, Can the Man, and Shaking It Up, including Golden Sense's stakes winner Pickett, a dominant 9-length winner in the $75,000 DS Shine Young Futurity at Evangeline. Spendthrift, the Breeders' Farm.
Hi everybody, Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo. Welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift Farm. Let's throw up the field for Sunday's Spa Baby race. Spendthrift represented by the number 3 Private Beach by their excellent stallion Malibu Moon. The 7 Gracetown is by a Spendthrift stallion as well, that one by Into Mischief. We'll discuss the field in post-position order, beginning with the number 1. It Just Hit the Wire, a very expensive 2-year-old in training purchase, sold for $410,000. This one's by Bernardini and is a half-sister to CJ's Awesome, a stakes-placed dirt router. And while the dam was a graded stakes-placed router, and you might think, just on the face of the pedigree, this one is going to excel at longer distances, that dam's also a half to Capo Bastoni, the late-running winner of the King's Bishop sprinting at Saratoga.
Yeah, you know, on the face of it, it did strike me as a longer distance pedigree as well, but I can't ignore Capo Bastone and the fact that this one worked pretty quickly in April, breezing a furlong in 10-2 at the 2-year-old sale. So, you know, maybe this one has some early ability if she can work out a trip from that inside post there.
Looks like this horse has been working in company with Kieran McLaughlin's Take Charge Mila, who earned a 68 Beyer speed figure earlier this meet. I think It Just Hit the Wire is going to give a good account of herself if she can break cleanly from a tough inside post position. The number 2 is Mo Wheels Up. Mo Wheels Up was a vet scratch on August the 5th. She has come back to work 2 pretty solid half-mile breezes. This one is by Uncle Mo, tremendous stallion, 18% winners with 2-year-old debut runners. And the dam's thrown wild about Deb, a grade 2 stakes-placed router, and finally got a Bentley, a stakes-winning dirt sprinter. And the dam was precocious and classy. She won her debut at 2 and was a multiple stakes winner at 2, and I believe her only loss came over a very sloppy track in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies.
Yeah, Emerald Downs-based Smarty Deb, quite a good 2-year-old. As you said, she won 4 for 5 starts, including 3 stakes, and really a creditable 5th in the Juvenile Fillies behind Indian Blessing, a multiple champion, and Proud Spell, I believe, who went on to win the Kentucky Oaks. You know, and you mentioned Uncle Mo, just wow, what an athlete he throws. How good is he with his 2-year-olds? And Mo Wheels Up has been sitting on go for Joe Sharp. You mentioned, you know, that they had her entered earlier and then she was a late scratch. She's fired several consecutive works that were either bullets or close to them. Really seems to be sitting on something for the debut.
Joe Sharp having a really nice meet at Saratoga and does well with first-time starters. I expect this filly to be fast from the gate. The 3 is Private Beach by Spendthrift stallion Malibu Moon, a $425,000 yearling out of a stakes-placed synthetic router. Now that dam, Let's Get Married by More Than Ready, did win the career debut as an older runner sprinting on the dirt. A lot of class in this family, and this is the female family of Broken Vow, a very successful stallion.
Yeah, female family of Broken Vow, great stakes performers like Where's the Ring, who's the leading sire as well, and a lot of classy horses. You mentioned that the dam is a half-to stakes winner, always in my heart, and 3 other black type earners. It's a really, really classy family, and Malibu Moon does well with his 2-year-olds, but I'm wondering if Private Beach would like a little bit more distance later on.
I agree with you. I think this one may want a little bit more distance. Keep an eye on Tony Dutro's first-time starter Pointer View on Saturday. It looks like Pointer View and Private Beach have worked in company on a number of occasions. If Pointer View runs well, you might want to upgrade Private Beach slightly. The number 4 is Shanghai Bonnie by who else? Shanghai Bobby, a $75,000 buyback as a 2-year-old in training. This is a half to the stakes-winning turf sprinter Summer Exclusive, who is not exclusively a turf sprinter. She won her debut on dirt. The second dam was a 2-year-old stakes-winning dirt sprinter. There's a lot of precocity here, and this out-of-town barn almost pretty much assures a nice price.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, Shanghai Bobby really starting to light it up with his 2-year-olds. Not surprising, as he's a juvenile champion from a sire line that produces outstanding 2-year-olds. He's got Shang, of course, in this week in one of our Spa Baby races. And Shanghai Bobby Bonnie, I'm sorry, looks like another quick one, working in 10-1 at the 2-year-old sale earlier this year.
The only horse with prior racing experience in Sunday's Spa Baby event is the number 5, 2 Dozen Roses, who made her career debut going 2 turns on turf for trainer Todd Pletcher, and she was very rank in that race. Now turns back to 6 furlongs. Maybe they'll get away from her early and she'll be able to settle down and come with 1 run. But as we see from this pedigree card, boy, 2 Dozen Roses has an unbelievable pedigree. The dam a half-sister to Beholder, Into Mischief, and Mendelssohn. Were you surprised that 2 Dozen Roses made the career debut on turf? Was it a sign that Todd feels this horse needs distance?
You know, I think it could be a combination of both factors. I certainly think that this is a distance-oriented family, especially when you put Super Saver on top of it. But, you know, there is some turf ability there. Beholder, Into Mischief, both performed well on synthetic surfaces. Mendelssohn, of course, won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf last year. There's a lot of turf and synthetic ability in the family. Now, Beholder, Mendelssohn, Into Mischief, all grade 1 performing 2-year-olds, but later in the year, you know, as the distances got longer, you know, so I'm wondering if 2 Dozen Roses as well might be a more distance, you know, sort of following that development pattern, more distance oriented as well. And, you know, Todd Pletcher, really not throwing up some of the 2-year-old numbers that I would expect this meet.
I agree. A lot of his 2-year-olds have underperformed. Todd does have good numbers over the years with these kind of horses. Interesting. You wouldn't think that the old turf to dirt second time start 2-year-old would work for Pletcher, but he wins a third of the time and a $2.50 ROI. And again, 2 Dozen Roses with that big pedigree is the only horse with prior racing experience. The number 6 is Philly Joel by Dialed In, who wins 10% with 2-year-old first-time starters. This dam placed on turf as a 2-year-old. This is the family of Regally Appealing, who is a graded stakes-winning dirt sprinter. And I think this filly has started to turn it up in the last couple of workouts. I like that Arad Ortiz is enticed to ride for the solid Rudy Rodriguez barn, and I wonder if this filly is somewhat of a surprise package.
Perhaps so. You know, as you mentioned, Dialed In, one of the leading freshman sires of his class a couple years back. You mentioned Regally Appealing, who won the Adirondack and Kentucky Cup Juvenile Fillies and was grade 2 place sprinting as a 3-year-old. This is the family of a lot of, you know, miler sprint type runners like Kelso winner Appealing Tail, family of some other good 2-year-olds like Remsen winner Rockport Harbor. Definitely an interesting package here.
The number 7 Gracetown is by Spendthrift stallion Into Mischief, a $95,000 yearling. The second dam is a half-sister to the stakes-winning dirt sprinter Away, perhaps best known for being the dam of the great 8 Bells. Gracetown goes out for Michelle Nevin. Solid work tab here, but again, I wonder if this filly may need a race and a little bit of experience.
Perhaps so. You know, there is a lot of speed and 2-year-old ability on the bottom side of that family to back up Into Mischief. In addition to 8 Bells, this is also the family of grade 1 place juvenile Broken Spell.
Let's move on to the number 8, Flatter My Heart, going out for trainer Steve Asmussen, who's having just a tremendous year at Saratoga, especially with his 2-year-olds. This is a $35,000 yearling by Flatter. The dam won her first 4 starts as an older horse, a stakes place synthetic sprinter, and there is a lot of synthetic ability in this pedigree, but there also is a lot of class, and you have to respect what this barn has done at this meet.
Oh, absolutely. And this one looks like she has a really good foundation for her debut, has some strong works at 4 furlongs and even at 5 furlongs. You mentioned Asmussen's record with debut starters at this meet, and Flatter can definitely get you a quick runner on dirt.
The number 9, China Cat, has a fascinating pedigree, Nicole. This filly's by Justin Phillip, and although she was a $120,000 buyback in April, she worked a furlong in 10 seconds flat. This dam's a half to the dam of Gormley, who certainly could step on the dirt. Mostly a turf pedigree on the bottom, but Jose Ortiz enticed to ride for a good trainer in Jeremiah Engelhardt, and this filly showed some speed at that sale.
Yeah, absolutely. Went her furlong in 10 flat. And I will, without, knowing the vet reports on any sale horses, of course, I will sort of attribute the buyback to Justin Phillip not being, that commercial of a sire. He is still a young stallion. He was he did his best work at sprint distances, and he's done, fairly well with his 2-year-olds. You mentioned that this is the immediate family of Gormley, who was a grade 1 winner at 2, went on to win the Santa Anita Derby at 3. Really a deep European classic type turf pedigree. You see in there champion Grassmere Estrapad, who won the Arlington Million and other major events in there. China Cat, we mentioned Gormley with the juvenile ability, but I do wonder if, she's going to want to go a little bit longer.
We kick off Sunday's late pick 4 with our Spa Baby race number 7. Who do you like?
I am going to go back down toward the inside there and look at Mo Wheels Up for the Joe Sharp barn. As we mentioned, the work tab, I just think that this one is sitting on go for her debut. When I look at that work tab, and Uncle Mo over Smarty Deb, you have just an athlete over an athlete, both with great 2-year-old ability.
We are in agreement. I like Mo Wheels Up as well for Joe Sharp. I'm going to use her over the 6 Philly Joel and the 1 It Just Hit the Wire in Sunday's Spa Baby race presented by Spendthrift.